Hello. Today I want to talk about why it is so easy to coast along the OCD recovery journey and why taking recovery seriously is very important. Okay, so why do we coast? Now, we often coast when we're doing well for a longer period of time and we're so scared to go back into the suffering that we once had. Now, usually at the beginning of the journey, you would do anything just to feel slightly better. Okay, but then it also explains why we're reluctant to take the next step towards recovery, keep pushing in the recovery journey, and that we often just settle for what we got, settle for feeling slightly better, frequent setbacks, but we're happy just to settle for that. Now, why I'm going to talk about why that's so common, something that I did very often and for a long period of time on my journey, and why we do that. Okay, so first of all, when we first come on the journey, when we start becoming wiser to OCD, maybe you're having one-to-ones, webinars, maybe you're in the WhatsApp groups, and you're understanding how OCD operates. You're looking at your beliefs, you're doing your exposures, you're building a healthy life structure, and you are in general feeling better, or you're not feeling as bad or as worse as you once was. Okay, so you are seeing some progress, but it's so easy to stay into that comfort trap of coasting. All right, I did it for so long, usually around when I had big events coming up. So let me give an example. All right, so I could have a holiday coming up in, let's say, 2 months' time. All right, now I'm feeling okay. All right, I know there's setbacks going on. I'm still getting triggered. I'm still scared of stuff. There's still some avoidance in there. But let's say 2 months' time, I've got a holiday coming up. Now, rather than putting in recovery work, rather than doing that exposure that I'm putting off, rather than disputing my beliefs or going back to performing compulsions and going back to the avoidance, seeking reassurance, confession, slightly saying, oh, this is unfair, I can't stand this, going back into the old habits of OCD, suffering. So I'd go back into that, and the reason I did that was so I could feel safe or try and not be triggered for my big events, so my holiday, so for a big football match coming up, for a big music event, something that I really wanted to enjoy, something that was a big importance to me, something that I wanted to take in and be present at. Okay, so I put off any recovery work in the build up. All right, it's something I did very, very often. Now, I was so desperate to cling on to any sense, any feeling of, feeling good, any bit of progress. I was desperately clinging on to it, and hence why the fear of fear then came later on in the journey. I was so scared of it coming back, or so scared of forgetting the tools, doubting the tools, a new theme hitting me for 6. And that was it. I couldn't cope, and yeah, and then I would say to myself, well, if I just stayed in the coasting zone, if I stayed in the comfort trap, then no new theme can get me. Complete rubbish, because OCD would then chuck in something else. It would latch to something. If I'm going back into performing compulsions, then OCD is going to have a field day. It's going to run rings around me. It's going to keep me scared. It's going to find something just out of reach. It'll move the goalposts, move the boundaries. Well, what about this? Well, what about that? What about this theme? Or you didn't think of that memory. You didn't think of that event. Or chuck this thought in at a really unwanted time. And then just sort of gradually going back into that compulsive cycle that we often go down. All right. So something that I did a lot, cling on desperately to feeling good. And I was very reluctant to take that next step. I was putting off recovery work, let's say, until tomorrow, or until I was feeling slightly better, or until after that big event. Okay, so let's say I'm going on holiday on the Saturday, and I'm back on Tuesday, say, and I go, right, recovery work, that'd be Wednesday. All right, what would happen? I'd get to Wednesday, and then on the Saturday, I'd have a football match that I want to enjoy. So I go, no, I'll wait until after that football match. And on the Sunday, I'll do recovery work then. And I'll find out on Sunday I'm a bit hungover. I might have had a few drinks the night before. So I'll wait until Monday. And I get round to Monday, and then I've got a big birthday event on the Wednesday. You see how this gradually comes in, and we gradually put off that recovery work. We find excuses. I was the king of finding excuses. I was always putting it off. And I see very often in the group chats now that I'm in, People who message me, I see there's a subtle putting that off, and because you're so desperate for it, you don't want it to ruin something, or you're so scared of being triggered, so scared of a setback, so scared of a relapse, and yeah, it's often underlying fear at play there. Just any bit, and with the internal thermometer, measuring how you're feeling all the time. Oh shit, am I going back to how I was 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Oh shit, no, that means that event's going to be ruined now. I want to go back into the coasting. I don't want to do that exposure now. I might just want to stay. I've gradually got better. I'm not panicking all the time. I'm not panicking every day. I'm only panicking once a week now, so I'm going to stay at that. Things that we often hear. All right, so it's very important that we're not doing that. Okay, now what I often say to people, something that I said to myself a lot, was this: to have the opportunity to recover in this day and age, okay, look back 50, 100 years ago, all right, even 20, 30 years ago. Now, I'd imagine that the chance and the opportunity to recover was very, very low, very limited, okay? The understanding of OCD has grown a lot recently. But imagine 20, 25, 30, 50, 100 years ago, it was more just thoughts of thoughts. There was no looking at the beliefs. It was probably just exposures, and just, yeah, not quite getting under the chronic OCD. At the chronic OCD level, we do need to look at our beliefs. We need to look at what's causing, what's contributing to the chronic guilt that we're feeling, the panic that we're feeling, the shame, the anxiety we're feeling. Not just going, right, that's a thought, I can see that's an OCD thought, look at it like a cloud, it's going in, it's in my head and now it's going out, just don't interact with it. It's not that easy with the chronic form of OCD. All right, so we're very lucky, we're very blessed to be alive in this day and age, and that we can recover. Okay, it requires a lot of hard work, incredible amount of patience and persistence. Okay, setbacks, feeling like you're back to square one all the time, and it is so easy to do. There's something I frequently setbacks all the time. Think I was getting something, oh fuck's sake, I'm back again. Or OCD really digging its heels in, and that was because I was so desperate to recover. I say to recover, but like I said earlier in this video, I was so desperate to hang on to the feeling of doing well or feeling good and not being triggered, not being anxious. I was gripping onto it like that, just holding on. I'll do anything to hold on to that feeling. But then OCD knows that. It's going to dig its heels in. It's going to cling in there. It's going to really not budge. It's gonna find something and it hit you off guard. Okay, so we got to be eternally allowing a setback to happen whilst we're continuing our recovery work. Okay, I can't highlight the importance of that enough. We can't put off recovery work till the next day, till next week, until after the big event. Like I explained earlier, that's not how it works. There's always something else, okay? You're going to be scared of it ruining just a day at work, just a standard day, because you're desperate to have a good day. All right, so we've got to take that risk. We've got to take that leap of faith. We've got to take that jump. Sit with that, sit with those uncomfortable feelings of not knowing, okay? So much confusion along my journey. Hence why I was asking Rob all the time, why do I feel like this? What's this backdoor spike about? Why am I having this relapse? I feel like I'm not scared of this fear anymore, but why am I still anxious? Why do I still feel chronically guilty? Why do I still feel panicked? All right, all that confusion that you're going to feel, all right? Bring it for the ride, internally allowing any setback, any feeling, any sensation, any urge, any thought to be there, and not running from that. Okay, I can't highlight the importance of that enough. We need to drop that internal thermometer that we have, that invisible internal thermometer that we're going, all right, how am I feeling today? Am I feeling better than yesterday? Am I feeling better than last week? Am I feeling better than last month? Am I feeling like I was 3 years ago? All right, questions that we often ask ourselves as OCD sufferers. Okay, that thermometer needs to be dropped. All right, if we're constantly measuring how we're feeling, it becomes compulsive. It becomes a fear cycle. We've got to be eternally allowing to feel absolutely everything. Okay, so just to summarise, the importance of taking recovery seriously. We've got one shot. We've got one life. Okay, let's not put off until tomorrow. Let's not put it off until tomorrow. Let's put the work in today. It's easy to coast, but there's so much more out there. Okay, there's so much more work to be done. There's so much more freedom to feel. Okay, OCD recovery, I wouldn't swap it for anything. The journey that I went through, very, very incredibly challenging journey, but the perspectives it's taught me in life, I would not change it for anything. And the tools that I've learnt, how I see life, how I see perspective, how I see different things in life, just making decisions in life. Okay, it's equipped me. And it's made me more wise and just taking that risk, okay, and just dropping that conditional self-esteem that we hold and that we're born into, that the innate tendency that we often have to rate people and rate ourselves, the conditional self-acceptance that we often talk about on this channel. Okay, so I don't want to go on too long. I want it to be quite a brief video, and just have the importance of taking recovery seriously and not just to settle for coasting. There is so much better. Okay, so much hope. If you have liked this video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. Any comments from me, any other guys on the team, Jade on the team, any suggestions for videos that you'd like us to cover, please drop a comment. That'd be much appreciated. Anyway, you take care. Have a lovely day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world, and I'll speak to you again. Bye bye.